All right, today we have a quick build. We are going to build Adam Savage's light from Tested. It's a really cool build. It's definitely not my design. It's inspired by his. I'm doing a little bit of tweaking, but essentially it's the exact same light as his. It's a really cool light panel that utilizes a color changing sort of camera auxiliary light, and then it utilizes lock line and some armature wire. It is not my design. It is Adam Savage's. His link is in the description as well. We all know him from Mythbusters. That's his channel, Adam Savage is Tested. Anyway, go visit that. I take no credit for this. This is all him, but I really like it, and I'm very excited to do it. First, as always, we have to go ahead and draw our design. Pretty basic, as you can see. Nothing too complicated here. Let's get into it. And here we're just connecting all the lock line together, establishing our base. Got a standard AC adapter. 2.5 amps is what is recommended to power this panel. Alternatively, you can use the battery. Just bringing out our soldering station. It's always fun when you can have an excuse to solder something and use these super awesome strippers. Automatic strippers are just amazing. So we're going to go ahead and feed the line through, test and see if we have enough length, and we definitely do. You can always add more wire if needed. And spoiler alert, this is the original design that we were going to try. I have this pivoting base. Ultimately, I didn't really like the options I was going to have with it. It was definitely a decent solution, but later on you'll see that we go to a much better, more flexible design. And here, this is a mountable lock line that I'm reversing, and then that, thank you, Thanos. That is an adapter that will connect two of the smaller ends. That way these two pieces can couple and meet together with the body. They are 3D printed. I went a little cheap. We'll see later that maybe that was a mistake as well. You want to go ahead and drill out a little bit of a channel for the wire to go through that fitting and into the body. Here I'm going to go ahead and smooth that channel out by heating the end of some needle nose pliers. Be careful with this. But just like cutting things, heat is always needed. It's funny how versatile being able to melt something is. I'm just going to go ahead and check the fit here. And it's not too bad. It's a little sloppy in there, but it's going to do the job. That wire can just sneak past there, and the pivoting ball camera mount can nicely screw in. And we're leaving enough room for that nail plug to extend up to the female end of the back of that panel. Everything looks good. This is PLA, and it doesn't flex as much as the lock line, so a little bit of oil and some hammer persuasion always does the trick. Break out your soldering skills. No high-end soldering NASA spec here. Just enough to get the job done. Just a little test power there to make sure I still have my wires in line. It's always frustrating when you get everything together and it doesn't work. Here I'm hurts me every time. So let's go ahead and start over. I didn't like the original design anyway, as I mentioned. This is the alternative that Adam mentions in his video. In order to weld, we got to go ahead and grind off some of that nasty coating. Let's give this another shot.
First try.
Again, we're just feeding our slack through the body. So far, so good. All in, baby. So we're going to take this steel bar, bevel the ends. I'm going to drill out a bit of a hole in the C-clamp so we can just get a decent weld in there. Doesn't have to be bridge quality, but just enough to hold, and we have more than enough skill here today to at least get it to hold. Go ahead and center punch where we're going to drill. Center punches are glorious, FYI. Wiping it off because it was so hot I had to dip it in some water. Let's go ahead and reassemble. I'm going to take that armature wire, bend one end just for added rigidity, and shove it all the way up there until it bottoms out on that mounted fitting up top by the neck. Trim to fit. Route those wires down through the NPT fitting. All right, so far so good. Very versatile, very flexible. Now we just have to extend the wires down to the AC adapter, just like before with adding some extension wire. We're going to add some here. That way we have enough slack to wherever we clamp it, we can reach a plug. And again, you can always power this by battery as well if you didn't want to do this. Just like before, we're going to solder and heat shrink the connection. And we'll be all set. And the final reveal. Oh my gosh, I look so cheesy, don't I? This is terribly awkward. but got to start somewhere. Ooh. All right, another project done. I like it. I love it. Oh man, I really like it. It's not my design. I'm kind of a Adam Savage homer. I really like him. He has some great designs. Again, this is all him. It is not my design whatsoever. I did take a design cue from him that he didn't do in his video, so please go out and see his video. He did suggest he could possibly weld the C-clamp to an MPT fitting. That usually goes to, you know, black iron. You see a lot of that in like furniture the past few years, kind of ruggedized stuff. Anyway, what don't I like about it? Again, my welding, like in the last videos, I really need to work on my welding. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, just you gotta have excuses to use it. So every chance I get, I'm using my welder. If I can replace a screw or some kind of mechanical connection with a solid weld, I'll do it to utilize the practice. But man, this light is a game changer. I can bring it all over my shop. My shop doesn't have the best lighting. I did pretty well, but there's definitely some dark pockets, and I'm just trying to save some money so I can buy materials to build things versus light. So there's definitely a balance there. This thing being as modular as it is, I can put it anywhere in the shop. I can put it on the ceiling. I can put it above on my loft. I can put it on a shelf. I could even put it onto a French cleat design, kind of like I have my soldering station, just kind of hanging on the wall. I do plan to line from ground to ceiling with some form of French cleat every wall that I can, just so I can build modular shelving, because shops tend to evolve based on projects. It'd be really nice to just move a set of tools to one side of the room just to kind of have them readily available, just kind of knock out what I want to do. It really would add to the hastening the workflow of whatever endeavor that I have. What would I do different? Probably, maybe I would buy the lock line parts from them instead of 3D print them. The thing about the lock line, I don't know the material it's made out of, but it has such a tight tolerance, and there's just enough squeeze and flex to really pop those in there, ball and socket, you know. The 3D print, though it printed out well, it's very brittle. It's just more of a rigid flex, doesn't really lend to a lot of tweaking. And over time, PLA filament, as it heats, it'll sort of like kind of buff smooth. So already the neck is a little floppy. I am counteracting that with the little pivoting ball camera mount. But yeah, in the future, I'll probably go and actually spend the $6 to get the little adapters that I need just to make it, you know, 100%. I'll probably make another one of this specifically for cameras. I'd love to be able to kind of have like a camera arm that could swing down from my ceiling in different spots. So I don't have to have tripods all over the floor. Yeah, that's it's probably what I'm gonna do next. So again, I appreciate it if you did watch this. I'm new to this, it's a little awkward. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but hopefully it was entertaining enough to get to this part. So thank you very much.